but that's what I go back to. It's like maybe it's just like a lucky roll of the dice. Like all of our interactions, just like
Sometimes, yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Sometimes I really feel like I'm in a video game. And that's why I keep saying it. No, I like
Yeah,
not even
yeah,
care.
yeah.
Like I real no, not even from like a self front perspective of like, um, okay. So this is an interesting story. So like I will say my life is a video game, and then I will just actualize like, oh, what would my video game character do? Right?
Mhm.
That's like down up, like me actualizing an action. Okay. But so many times in life, and they call this The Secret, the book The Secret,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
manifestation. So like it will also come from top down sometimes. So what I mean by that is like
Mhm.
um I was prepared to spend an inordinate amount of money on this one thing. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna buy this thing, whatever, it'll go on line of credit, whatever, whatever. And then all of a sudden this person was like, I'm gonna gift you that thing. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, so now I don't gotta spend money on that. I was like, that's weird. But I didn't ask, bro.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's like, why was
Yep.
that top down? Why did God here you go? So that's what I mean. It's like sometimes it feels like a video game, like divine guidance or something. Or
Mhm,
like
mhm.
what was the other one? So like I've just been calling it karma recently. I'm like, if you see all my posts, like the devil is a lie. It's more jokey to me, like not today, Satan. Because I think if you just do positive things, people can feel it and they want to give you other things, right? So like, all right. So karma. Let's talk about karma. So when people are like, you do good things and then it'll come back to you.
Mhm,
No, that's a selfish thing, bro.
mhm,
Like, because you do it in order to get something back.
mhm.
So secretly, that's selfish,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So I think karma is like when somebody drops something and you instantly pick it up. You're like, oh, here you go ahead, you know? But like, it's not, I wasn't like, oh, they'll like me for this. I just, oh, you dropped it. Let me just help you out, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So Tara always jokes that the old ladies in our apartment, like the building, they love me. And
Mhm.
she's just like, why do you always like talk to old lady? I'm like, I'm just nice to them. Like, cause that's how my mom raised me. Like, hold the door open or like ask how they're doing. What's your day like? Just like general
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Right. And I'm just being polite. To me, I'm just like, I'm just being polite.
Mm.
But I think the karmic reaction there is you can sense that I'm being polite, genuinely polite, and then that's positive for you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, I'm not, and then that energy emanates within me and it goes to other things.
Sure.
Right. So like that influx of resources that I was like, oh, I'm about to spend money on this. And then it came in a different way. I'm like, oh, that's because I'm just like my karma's good. Like I'm emitting positive energy and people just like, oh yeah, let me help you out kind of
Mhm.
thing. And then like I was at this store and I was like, do you guys sell stickers? And the guy was like, no, we don't sell stickers, but here's a bunch of stickers for free. And I was like, oh, sick, bro.
Mhm.
But like, I'd
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah,
met
yeah,
this
yeah.
person before, but maybe he felt like, oh, he's a positive guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
people do give off an energy,
a
an
vibe.
aura.
Right. No, 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 no.
But I don't
We're
use
being
that
like,
term.
no,
It's
no,
a
no.
vibe,
Like,
yeah. No, but you can tell, right? You can tell from someone's energy what kind of first impressions kind of energy, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
totally.
exists, of course. Yeah.
Right. And then it gets like, it gets reinforced by your actions too.
Mhm.
So like the bullying story that I was telling you about when they're like, oh yeah, why don't you just let them, I won't say the exact thing, but it's like, why don't you just let them bully you? It wasn't actually a bullying, like obviously
Mhm.
not physical. Like you really want to fight, I'll fight you, bro. It was like a different kind of bullying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, no, I don't want to. They were like, oh, why don't you just let them bully you? And I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to deal with
Mhm.
that. But then that's another reinforcing vibe. So it's like I already gave out this vibe, and
Yep.
then like through my action, I like stood by that vibe.
Mhm.
Like I will not play around here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I think that's all we are, man. Some like weird,
Mhm.
energetic. It sounds. I think all spirituality is super logical. You just don't know how to explain it.
Sure.
So like that karmic thing we are just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you're like, oh, the aura. It's like it is an aura, but it's more like a vibe.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
what's the actual word? Yeah, yeah. I get
you
that.
know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a thing. It's a real. Like you
Sure.
can
Yeah.
feel. Like you meet somebody, you're like, oh, you're an energy vampire, bro.
Mhm.
Ugh. Like I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, but here's the karma too. Think about this. This is crazy. So like mine was a positive karma story. So let's look at the reverse. If you're an energy vampire and it's like, oh, my day sucks. Oh, everything sucks. Then people will reinforce that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey man, do you wanna hang out? Nah. Like me, if I was the energy vampire and I was like, oh, my day sucks. Nobody likes me. Everyone hates me. Hey man, do you want to hang out? They're like, no, I'm good. I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, see, nobody wants. But it's like, no, it's because nobody wants to be around you.
Exactly.
Like you're
Yeah. Yeah.
literally
Yeah. Yeah.
doing it to yourself,
Yeah.
but you don't see it as karma,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And then you're like, but I pray every day though, because like to get my karma up.
Sure.
And you're like, no, bro,
But what
it's
are the actions that you're doing?
right.
Yeah.
And then people feel it, and that's like
Exactly.
it. Spirituality, man. There's something to it.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. I think even it's there. It's there. We're a collectivist society, right? Like that's what we grew up from or evolved from. So that's what it like. We can feel these things of another
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But we don't think about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
We like the West. There's this story. I don't know if it's true, but when the colonizers came to North America, the indigenous people, they were always like using like mushroom psychedelics. They were like really connected to the land, right? And they would see like colors and stuff. And then when they saw the white man come, they were like, oh, there's no color. And they thought they were like evil
Mm-hmm.
because there's no like color or around them. It's kind of ironic because they called him the white man, but literally it's the white man because there's no color,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if that's true, it's like if you look at like Catholicism, there is really no spirituality. Like Abrahamic religions, there's really no spirituality. There's a lot of dominance. There's a lot of 10 commandments, but there's no like connectedness to nature. Like Abrahamic religions are God created earth for you.
Like, but you look at the under the main foundation, fear of God,
Right. God fearing.
God fearing.
Yeah.
But
Why would I fear
it's not.
something?
It's not that. There's none of that in Eastern.
Exactly. That's what I mean, bro. And it's like, I think our foundation is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what is lacking because these spiritual concepts are just built in to other religions, bro.
Yeah.
Or other like doctrines, I want to say, or like
Mm-hmm.
paradigms. But like when you look at, if you start off with like God fearing and like dominance over nature, of course you're going to be like a certain type of way. Of course they're going to be like, oh, there's no aura around you.
Yeah.
Those indigenous people, because they're like, you don't understand how to connect to the world.
Yeah. It's little things that I think that like how you walk. Like probably they sensed it from the way they walked. They don't care about the land, right? It's not.
Dude, I didn't even think
It's
about
about
that.
conquering. It's like there's very subtle things that you would do or the way you act. That's what they're picking up on. Those are the senses that you get.
Okay, wait, you're so right. Maybe that's what the karma is. Maybe like when I was saying I'm like all these old ladies like me, it's like I'm not, it's the way I walk. It's the way I dress them. It's the way I like move. You're right. It's like little cues, but you don't know what it is. Like your brain is making a split second mathematical judgment off of everything it sees.
Yeah.
And it's giving you like, here's the answer.
Mhm.
And you're like, I can't put my finger on it. But there's something I don't like about that guy.
Right. I think it comes from our evolution, understanding what's a threat and what's not a threat.
Ooh. No, the walking thing is very interesting because I could see it clearly in my head. Like if they're trampling over the plants, and then the indigenous people are like, bro, you just stepped over like so much life.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas the indigenous people are like moving out of the way of the life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
oh, that's a mind blow. Because you're right. It's like that would give a totally different aura.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we're having this psychological renaissance right now where people are like, oh my God, psychedelics are so amazing. But it's like, you don't really need them to be spiritually awake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's almost like a helpful tool, but unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
You could still like achieve spiritual awakeness.
Sure.
Or connectedness to nature through other means.
Yeah.
Right. But I think a lot of people are taking them now because they're like, oh, I hadn't seen life like this before. I hadn't seen like,
yes,
you know what I mean? Like, there is so Graham Hancock's famous story is he took DMT and then he realized while doing it that he was making his wife suffer because he was lashing out at her, right? And I'm like, it took you that DMT experience to realize you were lashing out at your wife,
Mm-hmm.
but you could have just reflected and been like, oh, I'm kind of being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
because Graham Hancock is of the Caucasian descent. So it's like what we were just saying, it's like you didn't grow up with these
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
understandings. So like you probably grew up with the Abrahamic religion, which is like very me centered.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, like selfishness, like speaking of like me centered, selfishness is probably one of the worst things because it's like from that springs everything, like a lack of resources
Mm-hmm.
or a lack of like everything, like greed. That's from selfishness. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like war is from selfishness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hate is from selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have what you have, so I hate you now.
Yeah.
Whereas we need to be more selfless, which is like, okay, what's I'm a part of this world. What's here?
Mm-hmm.